Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys Podcast, very special Headlines and Shenanigans edition. I'm your host, Michael, of course. And of course, I brought Andy because he hosts the dang show.
I mean, it's a special edition over here. I mean, you can't leave without us. You can't have me not special edition.
If I don't have Andy here, where do I get my news?
And it's certainly not special.
It's certainly not special.
Nothing special about it.
But this one is quite a doozy of an episode.
We've had a pretty big week or month in terms of like headlines in our neck of the woods, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like I said, last month we had a pretty slow month because OJ kind of fucking took all the wind out of the room with his little "I'm gonna die now" whole shenanigans. But
it's such a drama queen.
Such a drama queen.
Seriously.
But so now we got some stories kind of to get back in touch with. We got a few little news headlines, and I got a shenanigan for you here at the end.
Oh, thank God. We got to mix it up a little.
We got to mix it up. So, guys, if you are on Patreon, we are trying something new. Hopefully this has worked out. If not, you can call my bluff later. But you might be seeing us on video right now on Patreon. So, guys, check that out. I'll tell you at the end of the episode if it didn't work out. But we are going to start this Headlines and Shenanigans with a little headline that came out about a couple weeks ago now, I'm guessing.
Right.
But Michael, this is something we are going to cover in the coming months now, since this has kind of come to a full conclusion. We are going to cover the Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow case.
Speaking it into existence.
Well, yeah, now that, like I said, now that it's kind of come to fruition, the trials are over, the sentencings have ended.
Right.
We now have a kind of a full and complete story to where we can do an episode. We don't like to do a full TCG episode when the end is still kind of open-ended, you know?
Yeah. Well, didn't we cover Lori Vallow already?
Yes, I think you guys did, but it wasn't.
Doomsday Mother, right?
Yes, but now we have a full, complete timeline of the whole case. Now we
got to do it again. I wrote a song and everything, Andy.
I know, right? Now,
Jesus,
now you get to remix it.
Oh God,
we can beatbox over it. We can sample something else. But we are going to talk about Chad Daybell because he was sentenced this week finally, and he was sentenced to death in the Doomsday triple murder case.
Wow.
So they actually went full bore and they were like, nah, man, you are done.
Yeah, well.
So Chad Daybell was sentenced to death on Saturday upon the recommendation of the jury that convicted him of first-degree murder and conspiracy charges in the killings of his first wife and the two children of his second wife. That's Lori Vallow.
Yeah.
Daybell was convicted on Thursday of first-degree murder and conspiracy charges in the deaths of his first wife, Tammy Daybell, and two of his second wife's children, 16-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow, in a case prosecutors claim was fueled by power, sex, money, and apocalyptic spiritual beliefs.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
pretty much all of it.
That's the core American family values right there, isn't it?
Yeah, in a nutshell.
In a nutshell?
Yeah.
But Judge Stephen Boyce on Saturday formally imposed the death penalty sentence after a jury in a lengthy verdict read in court earlier. They said that they found the penalty was appropriate under law, and the judge also imposed a 15-year prison sentence for insurance fraud charges just on top.
Yeah, why not?
It's like, you know what? You're going to die. And then plus 15.
And plus 15.
You know, we're going to keep your body for 15 more years in the basement. You're not even getting buried.
You're not even getting buried, dude.
Nah, we're going to put you in a drawer in the basement for 15 more years. So yeah, jurors heard some contrasting portrayals of the man from lawyers before beginning deliberations in a case that drew national attention, as I'm sure most of you are aware at this point if you haven't heard of the Doomsday Mother and her psychotic husband.
Seriously.
But the prosecutors described the couple's doomsday religious beliefs, the sensational triple murder that was also recently featured in the Netflix true crime documentary in 2022. So guys, yeah, I'm sure you guys probably checked out that Netflix docuseries.
Surprisingly, I haven't actually.
I know, right?
I have not seen the series.
Well, now we're going to have a case coming up soon, Michael. You already have some research materials ready and available. You can even listen to this episode as research. Taking notes.
Still won't know what happened.
Taking notes, giving you like that shit doesn't sound right. But in the opening statement to the jury on Friday, prosecutor Rob Wood asked them to consider aggravating factors that would make Daybell eligible for the death penalty because he was, like I said, he was found guilty last week, and they jumped. His sentencing was quick. Yeah. They didn't give no time for him to try and make any appeals or any sentence. They were just like, "Hey, we'll see you on Thursday. Be right back."
Yeah.
So,
by the way, we're gonna kill you.
By the way, you don't want to actually come back.
Death.
So the first the three murders, he said, were committed for remuneration. Daybell was also convicted of insurance fraud stemming from life insurance policies that allegedly paid him money after his first wife's death. His second wife, as well as Daybell, were also convicted of grand theft because she continued to draw Social Security benefits for her children after both of their deaths.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, guys, we've talked about this how many times on any true crime, guys, or any true crime podcast ever? They follow the money.
Oh,
the money is always what gets you caught. Like if you're doing it, man, sometimes you can get away with murder, but the second you start trying to cash those Social Security checks, they got some questions every time.
Right.
It's the money, man.
Yeah. Some of our best detectives work for the IRS.
Right? I'm just
Probably all of our best detectives.
Because they're the ones who are like, hey, who needs to get? We'll get them.
Yeah, we'll get them.
Oh, a famous mobster running the entire city of Chicago? Hold my coffee.
Yeah.
We'll have him in prison by Friday.
Pretty much.
Fucking IRS. But the verdict came after about a year after Daybell's second wife, Lori Vallow, was convicted of the murder of her children and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She was also convicted of conspiring to kill Tammy Daybell. Vallow has appealed her convictions to the state Supreme Court, with her legal team raising the issue of whether she was mentally competent to stand trial.
Oh, wow.
I think you were mentally competent everything leading up to the trial.
Right.
I think maybe the stress of the trial maybe pushed you over the edge, but I think everything else you did was your choosing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So authorities have also said they believe Tylee and JJ were killed in September of 2019, the month after they were last reported to have been seen, and that Tammy Daybell was found dead in her Idaho home on October 19th of 2019, a few weeks before Chad Daybell married Lori Vallow.
Oh, what a coincidence.
I mean, it's like, okay, she's dead. You free next Friday?
I do.
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and sign these papers. I mean, what's holding us back now? It's you know what?
I kidnapped the priest earlier. He's in the closet.
Yeah, my buddy got ordained online.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even better.
Church of the Fonz. But so continuing on, like I said, I'm giving a little bit of a summary here of some of the accounts right now.
I'm getting some flashbacks.
So the state described him as a power-hungry and grandiose man who would stop at nothing for what he considered his rightful destiny. His defense lawyer portrayed Daybell as a religious man driven into an unfortunate relationship by the beautiful, vivacious woman who knew how to get what she wanted. I mean, yeah, kind of hard to plead insanity when the defense is saying, I mean, I think she's pretty competent over here. Like, look at her. Look at her. She winked at me. Look at her.
Yeah, right.
2 dead children buried in the defendant Chad Daybell's backyard, Wood said were his first words to the jury at the start of the trial. So if that's how you're going to start your defense or your prosecution, that's how you really slap him on the forehead with a wake up.
Yeah.
2 dead children in his backyard. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, what do you say to that?
I'm awake. Continue. It's all right.
Right.
Like, everybody just kind of jolted in their seat a little bit. It's like, oh, God.
Pretty good opening statement, I must say.
Yeah, all right.
Kind of a home run.
Yeah, I'm focused. Let's keep going.
All right.
Yeah, even the judge is like, well done. Well done.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
Yeah. You know what? Guilty.
You know what? Bravo. The next month, his wife is found dead. The next month, his wife is found dead in their marital bed. 17 days after the death of his wife, Tammy Daybell, the defendant, is photographed laughing and dancing on a beach in Hawaii at his wedding to Lori Vallow.
Oh, shit.
A woman who was his mistress and the mother of the children buried in the graves on this man's property. 3 dead bodies. This man is fucking Boston legal right here. This man is like, this is a good lawyer right here.
Yeah.
This guy knows how to grip a jury.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, you are going to prison, my man.
Mm-hmm.
When Daybell had a chance at what he considered to be his rightful destiny, Wood went on to say, he made sure that no person and no law would stand in that way. His desire for sex, money, and power led him to pursue those ambitions. And his pursuit led to the deaths of his wife and Lori's 2 innocent children. Like I said, man, this guy is... I'm listening. I'm already voting guilty, and it's not even lunchtime yet. Like, I'm just saying.
Right.
These are your opening statements, my dude. Yeah, I believe you. You got passion.
Yeah, he does. He does. And he's right.
And he's right. He's
That
got
helps.
righteous fury behind him.
Yeah.
So Tammy Daybell was initially believed to have died in her sleep, and Chad Daybell remarried less than 3 weeks after that death. And in late November 2019, relatives asked in Rexburg, Ohio, to do a welfare check on JJ because they hadn't talked to him recently. Police didn't find him at the family's house, but did see Vallow and Daybell, who said JJ was staying with a family friend in Arizona, according to authorities. When police returned with a search warrant the next day, the couple was gone, and they were ultimately found in Hawaii in January of 2020, just trying to ride out that COVID out there in paradise.
Oh, well, they haven't quite got the information yet, right? It didn't really go full COVID till like March.
Oh yeah, probably
right?
yeah. Like I said,
So they probably thought, oh, let's just go get away. It'll be so nice. Hawaii in January, it's the cheapest month to travel.
no one looks in January. Who's even gonna look there?
Right.
It's a summer vacation. That's a summer spot.
Exactly.
But no, like I said, guys, we're probably going to end up doing a full episode on the entirety of their case now that we, the completion of it has ended, and me and Michael can do it together with some research and stuff and get a full case going on this right now. But guys, for our next bit of headlines, we have another bit of a follow-up here, Michael.
Oh, good. Another follow-up.
We have another follow-up here because this is actually something we talked about on headlines a few months ago.
Right.
Do you remember the Gilgo Beach serial killer?
Of course I do. Rex Heuermann.
Hugerman.
I do.
Giant ass man. Fucking Shrek walking through those goddamn pictures, man. Every time. Just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's a big fella.
But the Gilgo Beach serial killer, he has been he's a suspect. I'm not going to say the serial killer. The suspect has been charged with 2 more murders.
Uh-oh.
Rex Heuermann, who was arrested last summer, has been accused of murdering 4 women in the Gilgo Beach serial killings on Long Island, like we talked about. Mm-hmm. He was indicted on Thursday morning on the murder charges and the deaths of 2 more women. Mr. Heuermann, age 60 at this point, has pleaded not guilty to all charges in connection with the deaths of now 6 women.
Wow.
And has remained in jail for nearly a year awaiting his trial. In the meantime, investigators turn to the 6 other victims, 4 women, a man, and a toddler, whose remains, like those of the first 4 women, were found along the Ocean Parkway by Gilgo Beach. Mm-hmm. So there's still more bodies out there that they have not identified yet.
I think all but the toddler are his. I don't know, unless one of the women of the night maybe showed up with a baby.
Well, yeah, I don't know that, and it is a horrific thing to even consider. So we don't have any kind of there's no evidence pointing to that yet. But yeah, it's a definite theory on that. But like I said, the other bodies kind of do show some similarities to the other ones too. So
I think that the toddler could have actually drowned in that area because it is so marshy. Mm-hmm. And if you look into any of those women that disappeared in there, that is one of the biggest arguments towards an accident, is that they were out there for whatever reason, maybe running from someone, tripped and fell, and then drowned, I guess. I mean... Yeah,
because it was a lot of why would you be out here?
You'd have to hit your head on something to drown in that shallow of water, unless you're a toddler.
Mm-hmm. Toddler could just get stuck in some of that muck.
Absolutely.
Tide comes in and goes out. Mm-hmm. But on Thursday, Mr. Heuermann was charged with killing one of them, Jessica Taylor, whose partial remains were found near Gilgo Beach in 2011, and then linked to other partial remains found 8 years earlier in a remote wooded area in Manorville, a 45-minute drive east.
Whoa.
So he was also charged with killing Sandra Castilla, a 28-year-old New York woman whose remains were found in 1993 in the Hamptons. So he's branching out a little bit. Her long unsolved murder had not been previously associated with the Gilgo Beach investigation until recently. Prosecutors also detailed a manual that they said Mr. Heuermann kept that outlined how to select, kill, and dispose of victims.
Wow.
Remember when they were raiding?
Damning.
They were raiding his house when we first talked about it on headlines. The police were raiding his house. They were raiding his property. They were digging up some stuff. So apparently, they actually came across, I guess, one of his little journals to an extent.
Uh-oh.
And in that, like I said, it outlined how to select, kill, and dispose of victims. It contained headings such as supplies and problems about avoiding detection by changing car tires, burning gloves, destroying photos of victims, concocting alibis, and packaging of bodies for transport, according to court papers. Whoa. So this guy had some pretty detailed notes that he had kept about step-by-step instructions on how to do this. How do I not do this again? How do I get away with this?
Were these handwritten or do you print these off DuckDuckGo?
Yeah. These all a fucking ransom note all cut out from different magazines and shit. He's pasting them all together.
Right? I mean, do you know?
I think this was actually probably handwritten. I don't
so this is stuff that's even more devastating because that means this is stuff he's learned over the years, right?
Oh, either way, it definitely seems like these were like I said, lessons. These are things he's done before. It's oh yeah, this worked. This doesn't work. Try this. Remember this. It's what was the was it Ted Bundy or was it Kemper who was like, oh, you do it so many times, you forget where you put the tire iron. I think it was Bundy who made it. So it's like this guy sounds like somebody who would listen to those interviews and be like, "Yo, I should probably keep notes." Yeah, I don't want to forget where to put the tire iron one day.
Right.
Remember what Ted said. Like that's the kind of person this kind of seems like.
Yeah.
So the new indictment followed a recent flurry of activity and investigations after a 9-day canine search completed last month in Manorville and a wooded area in Southampton where Mrs. Castilla's body was found. Last month, investigators also conducted a 6-day search of Mr. Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park on Long Island, which had previously been exhaustively searched for 2 weeks last summer after his arrest.
Right.
So I'm guessing maybe they went back there and were like, I think we may have found a couple more cupboards to look in.
Yeah.
Maybe a floorboard or two might be loose in there.
Yep.
So the Gilgo investigation dates back to late 2010 when investigators discovered the first of the 10 victims left along a desolate stretch of Ocean Parkway running east from Jones Beach. The first 4 victims discovered, known as the Gilgo 4, seemed to be the prey of a serial killer, like we talked about last time. They're all young, petite women found with burlap, belts, and tape around their bodies. The victims had been dumped over a quarter-mile stretch of the previous 3 years, authorities had said. Prosecutors, if you guys remember, used DNA from human hairs found on the tape to connect the bodies to Rex Heuermann, that along with his internet history and records from burner phones linked to Mr. Heuermann, linking himself to the women and the location of where the bodies were found. So guys, remember he had burner phones, he had emails, he had connections back and forth with these women, and like they literally had to trail him and do one of those good old fashioned stakeouts to get some of that DNA. If you guys remember, I'd get that pizza slice or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Had to follow Shrek around until he dropped one of his onions. Because they have layers, Michael.
They have layers.
They have layers. Like this case, it has layers.
Yeah, they're like ogres.
These victims disappeared long ago in the mid-90s when mobile phones and internet uses were rare, and they did not leave many clues behind. The first 4 victims were dismembered, including Miss Taylor, and their remains were exposed to the elements for more than a decade before being discovered. DNA matches remained so sparse for the 6 bodies during the first decade of the investigation that only one victim, Miss Taylor, was identified. But in recent years, Karen Vergata and Valerie Mack have also been named as victims, and the other 3 have remained unidentified. So I think they know that there are definite victims here, but they haven't identified who they are yet. But the bodies were found very similar MOs.
Yeah.
So in a phone interview, Mr. Brown said his client maintained his innocence. He has also questioned the authorship of the manual attributed to Mr. Heuermann and whether it may have been taken out of context. What this is just from my Minecraft world.
Yeah,
what do you? This is from my Roblox character. What do you?
This is for a novel I'm working on. It's a crime novel.
Don't you just know
it's about a serial killer?
It's called a memoir of.
If I did it,
Schuer person.
Right.
But
it's not me.
It's not. No similarities whatsoever.
No.
But according to court papers, the manual prosecutors said Mr. Heuermann kept was a planning document to methodically blueprint his murders. It details preferences for victims, small is good, in quotation marks, how to set up a heavy-duty table for mutilating a body, and how to construct a suspension system for sexual bondage. It recommends removing tattoos and other identifying marks, and outlines how to dismember a victim and to body prep for disposal, which prosecutors said corresponded to the way that Miss Taylor's remains were discovered. The document also stresses the importance of rest before attacks to increase playtime. So these are some kind of sick and twisted notes that they're going down and finding. Mr. Heuermann's wife, Asa Ellerup, so she always it's always a weird name. I can never really pronounce her name.
Yeah.
And their children
I think you nailed it.
Have not been charged with connection with the 2 additional murders and were out of state at the time of Miss Taylor's disappearance. But they have not yet been charged in connection with the Gilgo 4 either. But remember, they did search his house pretty thoroughly, and they did question his wife a lot because they were like, I think it was one of her cars was they connected or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Had to make sure some hairs weren't hers and everything like that. But Miss Ellerup, who has recently voiced support for her husband and became a regular at most of his court hearings, was not at the hearing on Thursday. Her lawyer, Robert Macedonio, said that she was away on a planned vacation. She's like, hey, honey, you're not going anywhere, right? Like, I'm going to, you know how we have that timeshare every year? Like, I'm just going to, if you're busy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Myrtle. Like, I'm going to go to Miami. Let's, like, I don't,
Yeah. I mean, what can I really do here?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not a lawyer. What am I gonna do?
I don't know these things.
I'm just here in your corner, babe. But I'm gonna be in the corner in Miami, in the timeshare we have,
like the southeast corner of the country.
Yes, far away as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, like I said, we had some pretty big kind of headlines coming up this past month. We had a few like news breaks. We had some changes in cases and stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
We're going to follow up on the Gilgo Beach guy. He's not getting away. I can't wait for those actual trials to start happening because they're going to have some evidence, it seems like now, against him. So
yeah.
These trials might be pretty big. We're going to have to do some coverage of those.
Oh my God, dude. It's going to be a circus.
But yeah, like I said, and we are also going to we will be doing a full episode on Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow where we can get a start to finish, roundup of everything. Got to give you guys a good overview of everything.
Right.
But
all right.
This episode is called Headlines and Shenanigans.
It is.
I did want to leave you. I did leave you with one shenanigan.
Oh, thank God.
And I wanted this one for you because I just feel like this would be something that would be so disappointing for you as a nature as someone who enjoys nature as much as you do. And getting out there and seeing what the world has to offer.
Right.
Michael,
disappoint me, Andy.
A hiker in China found a pipe that has been feeding China's tallest waterfall for apparently longer than we'd like to think.
Those sons of bitches.
A controversy over a waterfall has cascaded onto social media in China, even prompting an explanation from the body of water itself. I guess the waterfall has a Twitter page.
Yeah.
So it did it got to respond.
Uh-huh.
So a hiker posted a video that showed the flow of water from the Yuntai Mountain waterfall, billed as China's tallest uninterrupted waterfall.
Yeah.
Was actually coming from a pipe built high into the rock face.
It's kind of brilliant.
I mean, fake it till you make it. I mean, you put it up high enough. I mean, who's going to question it?
It's still cool.
It's way up there. You can't see it from here, but it's up there. It's up there. But a hiker, like I said, the clip has been liked more than 70,000 times since it was posted, and the operators from the Yuntai Tourism Park said that they made a small enhancement during the dry season, so that visitors would feel that their trip had been worthwhile.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to get you guys get all up here and this waterfall's trickle. I mean, like that would be dryness. It happens every certain time. It's a little It's fixable. We'll get it up there. Hold on.
I like it. Yeah, I like how they act like it's just no big deal, right? It's like, oh, it's just something to supplement the waterfall. It's like, that probably costed millions of dollars to run this freaking water line. It's like, no.
To redirect the flow of this entire river and make sure it stays the steady flow the whole time.
Like also, you said, this is to upkeep appearances.
Yeah. How dry is it getting up there that you have to make sure this waterfall stays running?
Right.
But this was some of the people about, like I said, the Yuntai tourism. That's the one about how I went through all the hardship to the source of the Yuntai waterfall only to see a pipe, says the video caption. The topic of the origin of the waterfall is just some pipes. It received 14 million views on Weibo. I guess that's like TikTok for China, maybe. That's TikTok OG. I don't know what Weibo might be. But it caused such an uproar that the local government officials were sent to the park to investigate. They already knew.
Yeah.
They asked the operators to learn a lesson from the incident and explain the enhancements to tourists ahead of time, instead, according to a state broadcast. Like, tourism department, you should know better. You let that motherfucker up there. You fucker. Back it. We told you to block off that trail.
Where's the fucking caution tape? Huh?
Where are the snipers up there? We told you to booby trap that whole area. Where are the landmines? We specifically asked for landmines. The park later posted on behalf of the waterfall itself saying, I didn't expect to meet everyone this way, but as all seasonal scenery, I can't guarantee that I will be my most beautiful from time to time when everyone comes to see me. I made a small enhancement during the dry season, so I would always look my best to meet new friends.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to lie.
That's hilarious.
That's a pretty good social media outpost from a waterfall.
That's pretty good. I mean, as far as waterfalls go.
From a Chinese national tourism waterfall. Like, that's pretty well put. Well said.
Well put, waterfall.
Well said. Very articulate. You know what? I forgive you.
That waterfall is not doing anything that any of us have not been guilty of from time to time.
No, you guys, this lighting is not natural. We don't always look this fancy. It's makeup. It's we all look a little bit different. This girdle's not holding all this in for nothing. William Shatner up in here. About to pop off. I'll snap Michael's eye out from a distance.
Careful over there.
But like I said, I made a small enhancement during the dry season.
Yeah,
just a small,
Don't worry
small
about it.
multi-billion-dollar pipe,
Yeah.
irrigation system. Damn.
No big deal. No big deal.
But located in the central Henan province, the 312-meter Yuntai Falls is located inside the Yuntai Mountain Geopark, a UNESCO Global Geopark, which attracts millions of visitors every year to the geological formations that date back to more than 1 billion years. And a pipe that was
And PVC.
and some solid galvanized steel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, park officials told CCTV that the water used to pump water into the falls was spring water, adding it would not be damage the natural landscape. Don't worry, it's natural. It's all natural. It's all natural.
Yeah, well,
it's like
we're not worried about that.
it's not chlorine.
We're not. It's just a little less mesmerizing.
It's just
when you pull back the curtain.
It's a little less majestic when it's a pipe.
It's just a pipe. It's
kind of wanted to go up there and see the Falls of Gondor or some shit, but
right. But it's just pressurized water.
Yeah, it's like a water park.
Cool,
it's great.
Cool.
It's cool. Can I have my money back?
Can I have a ride back down as well?
Yeah,
I mean, this was a waste of energy.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm riding down. Yuntai Park. Does this person not have better things to do? A comment liked him at nearly 40,000 times. It's like, yeah, no, apparently they did not. They were like, that's a legitimate thing. Like, I'm climbing this whole thing. I want to see the top of this waterfall. This thing is beautiful. I want to see this majestic nature, this glorious creation that only billions of what the fuck? That is PVC.
Ah, damn.
Like I said, this was this guy had a mission now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to leave you with a little bit of a shenanigan up there because I thought that might be something that would be so disappointing for a nature enthusiast like yourself.
Hey, man, tourism is important.
It's not the first time artificial measures have been used to help famous waterfalls in China either. Apparently, the Huanggoshu Waterfall, a famous tourist destination in the southwestern Gyeongju province,
of course,
has been helped by a water diversion project from a dam nearly since 2006. So, I mean, they've been. That's different. If you dam up a river to increase water flow to another river to increase, that's different. But when you just reroute it with a fucking pipe in the ground, and it's like the pictures are up there, guys. You can go up there and see. It's literally just like an irrigation pipe coming out of the side of a rock and just water coming out. So it's not even majestic. And once you get up there, you're like, wait a minute, is this the... Oh, man.
But is it hidden from the ground,
I mean, from the ground, it's 312 meters up in the air and water is just running down. So, it's invisible for the naked eye unless you go up there. So, like I said, I thought this would be a nice little shenanigan for you, just to pull behind the curtain, just to, nature's so beautiful.
This is how it's made.
How it's made. This is how nature is made. The beauty of nature.
It's all a facade.
What is this, a Truman Show?
It's all an illusion.
I'm about to hit the walls.
This is bullshit.
Am I going to hit the barricade? Let me out.
All right. Well, let's end this Truman Show, shall we, Andy?
Yeah, somebody up there was trying to talk to God real quick. It's just like, where are you? Where's the camera? Where is it?
I know, right? You probably would feel like you're being pranked.
It's all
go all the way up there. Jesus. But all right, guys. Well, Andy, thank you for those headlines and especially for that shenanigan.
Anytime, Michael. It's a special edition.
It is. And we'll be back next month with another special edition. And as Andy alluded to at the beginning of the episode, you can catch this episode in video form on Patreon. Patreon.com/truecrimeguys, where you can watch the shenanigans as well as listen.
Oh yeah, you gotta see these shimmering, girdled, enticing bodies.
Right, something like that. But guys, next week we'll be back with a regular True Crime Guys episode, and until then, I guess you just have to keep creeping.
All right, yeah, guys, just keep on creeping. Check out those YouTube videos.
Definitely check it out on YouTube.
We're gonna keep posting a little bit more on there. You'll see a little bit more of these pretty mugs.
Yeah, there might be some shorts from this episode.
Just might be, Michael.
There might be. All right, guys, keep on creeping.
Bye.